Alright guys, feels like it's been forever since I've put up a video, and it probably hasn't been that long or anything like that, but just a few real quick things that's been going on. First of all, please continue to comment on the videos and stuff on Facebook and maybe Twitter or something, and the YouTube comic book community page on Facebook, somewhere around there. I kind of asked if anybody else was having problems with comments. What was going on is that for some reason I could comment on other videos, but I cannot reply on mine. So there's 2-3 videos that I just cannot comment back. It wouldn't let me do it. So please continue to comment. I love the comments, and usually if I don't get back to you, one of two things have happened. You know, work or YouTube. Okay, their fault. Short and sweet. Not going to make a bunch of excuses. But I do appreciate everybody that's commented on those last videos. I didn't know, you know, and then work hit, and it's wow. Okay, wow. Work's been exhausting to say the least with the driving and stuff that I've got to do. Without getting into that too much. So basically, what's happened is that I'm shooting a video, basically because the flea markets are starting up, and I'm going to a flea market tomorrow. Even though I have spent a ton of money on gas, and there probably is a big move coming in the future, I'm doing it. I'm going to go have some fun, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to show what comics I've got in the last 2 weeks. I got one of these from a Goodwill, and I hit a store in Abingdon, Virginia, where that I've got those 90% off books, and it's starting to wind down. Now, they didn't give me a time limit. I think it's still going to be a couple months, but they're shooting for the gold and getting these books sold. They have tons of boxes, and I got informed that they're going to be donating them to a library here in the next couple months. So, you know, time to go through there and bite the bullet on some of this stuff. But what I got today to show, like I said, one of these books is from the Goodwill. I got for $1. The majority of these books were 30 cents a piece. And I think, you know, they came to about like maybe $8, that's what I want to show. Plus, I got a package from the man, Steve Ogden, who's been apparently working like crazy and stuff. So, when he sends me packages, they've been out of the blue. So, I'm going to show those first here. And like, I'm really tired, and I just want to shoot this so that if I get a pretty good haul at the flea market tomorrow, I'm not like spamming a whole bunch of stuff. So, first of all, Steve Ogden watches videos. Steve Ogden does not make videos, okay? And he started, you know, so it's kind of hard to figure out what Steve has and hasn't. He sent me pictures of his immaculate, you know, bookshelves and cases that he has collectibles in, and some of his walls, and just extraordinary collection. He's got leather-bound books and stuff, and he watches the videos, and just because he's a great guy, he sends me stuff. A couple weeks ago, this came in. I asked my comic book guy to get it to me. Hold it for me and stuff, because I was a fan of this character in the 90s. And when he got the book, you know, I put it in the parking lot, and he ran out. He was so proud that he had it and stuff, and I felt like a dog because the thing was beat up by Diamond. I think it was a $3.99 book, and I couldn't do it. But what was really strange is I don't think I even talked about it in a video, and Steve Ogden sent me a variant cover of Ray #1. Now, I pronounce it Ray, okay, because I'm thinking it's like samurai, Rai. Because it's like samurai. I don't know if it's Ray or Rai. But anyway, this is a great futuristic character. He spawned out of the fact that the Magnus the Robot Fighter started in the 60s and stuff, and then Valiant sort of spearheaded their universe in the 90s with Jim Shooter writing it with Magnus. And always showed North Am. It was like Canada and America. You know, North America was pretty much like one country, and they're up in the clouds. And Jim Shooter was like, I wonder what's going on in the rest of the world. So this is Japan. I don't know what they've done in the new Valiant universe, but not only is this a variant cover, but it's signed by J.G. Jones. I mean, I about fell down when he sent that to me. And the Charlton stuff, for years of thinking, just not being a fan of Charlton more or less and stuff like that. The horror stuff that Steve has been sending me has just been blowing me away. Charlton horror, man, it feels gritty. It's got a texture. It's got substance, and I always feel like I need to take a shower after some of this stuff, man. Just really great stuff, man. And somewhere on the line, I think I did mention that you know, I love getting free comic book day Disney stuff because they do old Carl Barks stories and stuff. You need to look up who that is, you know. without giving the history lesson here, but he wrote some of the greatest Donald Duck stories and drew them also, and some of those were kind of adapted with other cartoons like oh my God, what was it? Tailspin? Is that right? Anyway, I might be wrong there, but anyway, he sent me one of these from a Cree Comic Book Day a couple years ago. And, just so nobody thinks I'm a horrible friend where I don't know what's in Steve's collection, and the few times that we've talked on the phone and stuff, it sounds like he's got all kinds of stuff. I've tried to win, like, sketches and stuff by Fred Hembeck on eBay, and I always get outbid. I look for Doc Savage stuff that he likes and stuff like that, and it just doesn't work. So I bit the bullet. There's one or two comics and a bunch of hardbacks that I've been telling about and some paperbacks and stuff. So, payday next week. We've already got a package getting ready to send to Steve Ogden there. Okay, long time coming. Now these are the books these were average 30 cents and stuff like that. CW has greenlit a TV show for IZombie. Now this is not the first appearance of the IZombie and stuff, but this book ran 28 issues a couple years ago. What, 2010 or something? It's not that old, but yeah, 2010, ran for 28 issues, I think. And all I remember is like Mike Allred was on this. I'm a Mike Allred guy. I like his stuff. It's different, it's quirky, it's retro, it's its own thing. It's snappy. And from what I understand, she's a grave digger, grave robber. She has to eat a brain once a month or something. I don't know. But CW has greenlit this. So here's number one. Just went ahead and got a few of these. Let's check it out. I just remember the people that read this said it was a weird book. Okay, number three. And I see a lot of his Ecstatics stuff on here. Reminds me of the Dead Girl. I think that was her name from Ecstatics. That doesn't sound right, but anyway. Number four. But it looks interesting enough. Chris Robinson's writing there. Number five. I hope these are showing up. Okay. Gotta love a talking monkey. Apparently this is a talking monkey that runs around with a suit. I flipped through some of these. Number six. And, used to be, there's a little joke in here. I don't know if the monkey is purple or not, but it used to be that sales spiked on comic books that had a purple cover or a monkey on it. So all of a sudden we have a monkey that looks like he's purple on the cover. And Alan Moore played around with that in his Promethea books with the weeping ape that was in the backgrounds on the billboards and stuff. Okay. Anyway, moving on, number seven. I very much like that cover. That is creepy. That would be an excellent horror story just by looking at it. Number 8, Shades of American Virgin and Rocky Horror Picture Show, as I look at this. And, her pajamas have Punisher skulls all over them. So that looks kind of cool. I like that cover. Plus, I like the black. The black on red. Those are punk colors. Punk rock colors. Here we go, getting, little adventure. Number 9. Number 10. Kind of reminds me of the Three Fates. It's kind of cool to interpret some of these covers without reading the story. Who knows when I get around to reading these, honestly. Number 13. And there's some brains. And 100 cool kid points if anybody can put in the comments where this quote comes from, because it's not really that hard. And, and 100 if you're honest and don't Google it, but, send more cops. That's all I'm saying. Number 18, we'll see who really watches these videos. Number 19, I love the zombie romance cover on this. So, Alright, number 21, this is where it starts looking kind of fun. More brains, giant jars. Is that what it is? Coffee pot of brains? I don't know. I have to read it. And that kind of reminds me of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And another 10, cool kid points. Everybody can, get the Teenage Mutant Ninja reference that I'm seeing this, because it could just be me. Alright. What do we got? Number 22, winding down. And that's it. There's 28 of them, so I got a good chunk there. I'll never remember which ones I have if I run into them at the flea market tomorrow. Alright, so now we're getting closer to getting my Secret 6. Okay, complete. This only ran for 36 issues. And it's one of those series that you hate it ended because of the DC 52 popping up, right? And I think I needed like 12 issues before this or something like that, because it just dried up. It was gone. I don't know what happened. But anyway, 28, this is where there's Skateris. And this is actually Catman dressed up like the Warlord, Travis Morgan. They actually go to Scutaris, and they're running around in here. And I flipped through this one, and from what I can tell, apparently Travis Morgan is dead, which blew my mind. You know, for you guys that know Warlord and Mike Grell collect, you know, just a great fantasy character. 31, yeah, I ended up buying a double, but it was 30 cents. 33, I'm assuming that's Black Alice on the cover in all her glory. These were by Gail Simone, just, you know, great books. Bane, number 34, and looks like we're getting shades of Breaking the Bat. You know, so like I said, I think it ran for 36 issues. Got another John Constantine. I have John, I mean, I think I've got about 100 issues of John Constantine, and the only two that I spent money on, it was $5 a piece, was 1 and 2. The rest of them I got from anywhere from 15 cents and a lot, 17 cents, and 30 cents. So, I mean, I've been getting this cheap. But anyway, here's $2.79. This ran for 25 years, 300 issues. There are big-time collectors. There's, you know, big-time channels where, you know, they were hardcore Hellblazer fans. I was always a fan of him from Swamp Thing, from day one that that I saw the book. You know, probably about a year after it came out. You know, I think it was like Swamp Thing 37. So I heard about John Constantine, and you know, then, you know, read American Gothic and was able to back up and read where he popped up, and it was just wow, just great stuff. Marvel Zombies number 2, Marvel Zombies 2, number 2, Arthur Pseudonym cover, you know, doing the first appearance of the Human Torch, basically the first Marvel book, you know, when they had another, you know, the company was called something else, you know, Timely, you know. Oh, and I like this cover. This Batman Beyond Unlimited. These are just satisfying reads. It's not like I would push anybody to go out and buy these, but the Justice League stories, the Superman stories, set, what is it, 50 years in the future of the Bruce Timm universe. Is that what it was? But anyway, these are fantastic reads, and I love this cover with all the characters and the aliens and stuff on it. Shades of Kingdom Come on there, but they're in the light, you know. Really surprising how much I like these. I grabbed these whenever I find them cheap. That was number 10. Love that cover. I'd actually frame that cover. I would love to find the original art to that. That is just awesome. Justice League Unlimited right there on the cover. And then we see, you know, Lobo in the future there. He and Superman are going at it. Alright, and then I talked about this Hulk series that came out. They had, Greg Pak had Planet Hulk, which was fantastic. They'd taken the Hulk out of the Marvel, well, off of Earth, because Civil War was coming on. That's why I heard they did it. The Illuminati had, you know, screwed him over, had him go on a mission for him in space, and they shot him through a black hole when he came down on the planet and became a slave and a gladiator fighter. And the whole time he was like, I'm going to get those bastards. And he gets a blood pact together, or a clan or something like that. It's other gladiators, aliens from other planets and stuff. And they get a ship and they take over the planet, and the Hulk rises from being a slave and a gladiator fighter to where he's just like taken over, and now it's time to come back and kick ass on Earth and get the Illuminati back. And World War Hulk came out of it, and it pulled me back into Marvel for a little bit, because they just kind of, you know, crumbled away, you know, with some of the things they were doing. And just, I looked down, I wasn't buying Marvel books, and the Hulk comes in and he's raising hell and beating ass and setting up a throne in you know, Madison Square Garden and everything like that. And then the Sentry come down, a character that I hate, you know, because he's Miracle Man meets Captain Marvel with, you know, agoraphobia, which makes him a Marvel character. He has to be screwed up somehow. And they beat the hell out of each other so hard and stuff like that. I mean, it's what Superman versus Doomsday should have been. That they beat the hell out of each other. They use up all their energy. He falls as Bruce Banner, and Sentry falls in his civilian form. They beat the energy, everything out of each other, going at it. And then all of a sudden they just dropped it like it never happened, and started this Hulk book with Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness. With, I think the Hulk was waking up in the desert. And I'm like, what? You know, and then nobody mentions it ever again. So I was really biased. And I have got a few of these a few weeks ago, months ago or something, a couple videos back. And I finally got out and I read them, and I'm not saying that they're epic stories or anything like that, but they're cool. You know, Jeff Loeb, you know, always, to me, feels like he always goes back to the Bronze Age, you know, that he loved or something like that. And gives you a little nostalgia when he reads these. Art Adams jumped in there, and Frank Cho, and so with time going by, I'm a little bit more forgiving, and I was going to put these straight on eBay, and now for some reason I'm holding on to them. But anyway, here's number 8 with Valkyrie, which was wild because he was leading up to the Defenders, and I've got this is number 11, but I've got 10 and 12, which this now completes that Defenders story. Every one of them, Jeff Loeb figured out, has a lost love, and part of them getting back together and taking on the Offenders is the prizes that they'll get their lost loves, I think. And I was like, well, that's cool, And number 13 and number 24. Okay, these are out of order, but this is the end of World War Hulks, where the Red Hulk and the Green Hulk and all the Hulks are just going at it with a bunch of villains. But the issue 23 that was before this, I can't see me selling this. Who is the Red Hulk? After the revelation, I think in issue 22, who the Red Hulk was, that was the big mystery. And what I heard, the Red Hulk was not supposed to last that long in the series, but he gained popularity, so they went with it, and that's one of the reasons he's still around. We get a whole bunch of the trick is I don't want to spoil who the Red Hulk is for people that don't know, but he is an established supporting character of the Hulk, Incredible Hulk, the Green Hulk, going back to his first appearance. And you kind of go through flashbacks of how he became the Red Hulk with his life story and little twists and turns and stuff. And they went back and they got the artist who was from that era of the flashback. So you have Sal Buscema, Ian Churchill, Mike Deodato, Dale Keown, John Romita Jr., Tim Sale, Herb Trimpe, I don't know how to say it, and Lionel Yu. But the fact that you got old Herb back on the Hulk, I thought was pretty damn cool, And then before that, I stopped at a Goodwill just on a lunch break one day. Didn't really expect to see anything, and somebody brought in some really cool stuff. And I found this. This is a reprint of I think a 1968 collection of Robert Crumb, collection of his cartoons and his work with Fritz the Cat and stuff like that. 20 years later, and I'm one of those people that, God bless Hippies Collectibles, man. I'm sure he'll know where I'm coming from, and but I really have a problem with that 60s generation stuff because I grew up in the 70s surrounded by, the people who missed out on the love or couldn't let go or saw the aftermath of the hangover that that was left over from the 60s and stuff. And the whole drug culture, a lot of this stuff is influenced by what was going on and influenced by Crumb taking LSD, yet I'm attracted to it. I read some of this stuff when I was a kid. It was messed up. I think Robert Crumb even referred to his stuff like, The Godfather. Great movie, and it's R-rated, and it's not for kids, and that's what I was getting at. I'm getting less forgiving in my old age and kind of open to this stuff, because I'm finally kind of getting the irony that he's putting in here and the satire, and he actually is saying something about the culture at the time in a way, which ironically, even though he's from that era, I think he shares some of the ideas. He could see some of this stuff was burnout and decadent and stuff, and he kind of put it in there, and at the same time you can kind of tell he's getting off on it. So anyway, there's the video. Flea Market tomorrow. Thanks for hanging in there, and comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Later, man.